Okay, welcome. Good evening. Welcome to the Morrison County Planning Commission public hearing for June 10th, 2025. Please rise for the flag pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I have a few items to cover before we get started tonight. Please sign in at the door if you have not already done so. There you will find a detailed handout of the step-by-step procedures we'll follow tonight. If you wish, please take one. Please put any and all electronic devices on silent mode at this time. Also, please note that all testimonies be recorded for the record. Members of the Planning Commission are appointed by the County Board of Commissioners with one member from each of the 5 commissioner districts. Land Service staff is here to assist the Planning Commission with its duties. The task of the Planning Commission is to hold a public hearing and make a recommendation to the County Board of Commissioners for approval or denial of requests for conditional and interim use permits, rezones, plats, and ordinance amendments in accordance with state law and county ordinance. The burden of proving a request meets the criteria for approval rests with the applicant. There is a protocol for how we will proceed tonight. For each request on the agenda, we will hear a staff report, hear testimony from the applicants, and then we will discuss and gather more information as needed. Next, I will ask if there's anyone in the audience wishing to speak to this request. I will ask each party to come to the podium, state their name and address for the record, and give their testimony. Please be as factual as possible and direct all statements and questions to me. After all testimony is complete, I will close that portion of the public hearing for that portion of the process. The Planning Commission will then review and discuss the case in terms of our finding of fact criteria as required by Minnesota statute and county ordinance. We will have a series of votes, discuss whether conditions be made. Then there will be a final motion to recommend approval or denial to the County Board of Commissioners. After this final vote on your request, you may leave if you wish. The County Board of Commissioners will then consider the request and our recommendation at their next regular meeting and will either grant or deny your request. So tonight our first agenda item would be Vitali TAC, if I said it right, 3223 Ridge Road, Motley, Minnesota, application to plat 2 lots located in Lot 4, Block 1 of Eagles Ridge Estates, Section 9, Township 132, Range 31, Scandia Valley Township. So if the applicant please come forward.
Good evening.
And if you'd say your name for the record, please.
Yeah, I'm Vitaly Tkach, a little different, T-K-A-C-H.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, 3223 Ridge Road. And my application this evening asking to split my property to 2 parcels. And yep, we work with the AMI and then we try to put all the documents what you guys required. And we're here if you have any question for us.
Okay, yep, we will. We'll start with Amy if she's ready with her staff report, and we'll have some questions for you then.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chair, again, this is a request to replat a parcel into 2 parcels. The ordinance section that applies to this is section 1500, and that lays out all of the requirements for platting of land in Morrison County. This is an aerial photograph of the existing parcel, which is currently within a subdivision. That is why this must be platted, because he's essentially redefining the existing plat. And this is the survey of the proposed land split. Excuse me. So this is an existing 21.53 acre parcel within the Eagles Ridge Estate subdivision, and that was created in 2003. Both proposed parcels have bluff and steep slope conditions. Lot 1 already has a cabin on it, but it does not have a septic system. A septic system design has been provided for that lot, and information on septic soils has been supplied for Lot 2. Access to these parcels would be off Ridge Road, which runs on the north end, an existing township road, and an access easement from Lot 2 would serve Lot 1. And although each parcel has a building envelope, permitting will require stormwater and slope stabilization plans, because even though those areas are not within bluff, they are awfully steep slopes. So that would be something we'd be requiring for permitting. And then, Mr. Chair, just so you know, or just to remind you, there are no criteria questions for plating. We're also hearing this preliminary and final plat together, since it's not proposing a road, developer's agreement, or anything like that. So your recommendation would go to the county board, and they would ultimately grant or deny the plat based on what they hear tonight.
Okay.
And that's
Thank
all
you, Amy. Everything she said factual. You have anything to add or disagree with on that?
Yep, everything what we talked before,
Okay.
yep.
So I guess at this time, I'll open it up to the members of the planning commission. If you have any questions for the applicant or staff, now's the time.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Brent.
I'm not sure who the best to answer this is, but we've been out to this property before, I think 2 years ago, maybe, when there was a real estate developer to sale the property and build within a bluff. And I think we had that heard here.
Is that ringing a bell with you, Sharon? I'm not recalling that. I don't have any history on that.
We were out there on Friday, viewed it, and
Correct.
of course, we'd been there before. Both Clint and I
Okay.
had been there before, and so I know that didn't go through, so it must have resold to you, sir, in 2024, last year, or?
This is, maybe you're talking about neighbor property, not this property. This property was owned by gentleman who passed away, and this property never was in a sale past 20 years.
Okay.
But neighbor's property, and my neighbor's property, yeah, they just bought and they talk about the building. It's my neighbor from the right.
That could be possible, Brent,
Yep.
maybe.
But this
Came
was,
up that gravel and split?
Could have.
yeah, it's a right property for me, yep. It's not this. This was abandoned, really bad condition. We clean a lot of garbage from there. Clean a lot of old rusts, cars, wheels. And the gentleman who passed away, ex-wife, sell, and she said that property was originally owner who owned all that shoreline there.
Mr. Chair, I don't, usually I'm gonna give you the background on the property. I don't have any background on a previous variance, so there may have been one very close in the area. But I don't have any record of any variance activity in the past on this particular piece.
I think it was a real estate agent that was selling the property, and there was kind of a preemptive, can we do? And he had somebody lined up to purchase it. If I remember this, is this your recollection as well, Clint?
Yeah, but it could possibly be the neighbor, like he said, because it'd be a long road, just like he had, I would think, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked pretty familiar, but whatever. If we don't have record of it, it's
No.
Yeah, I talked with and I know he still have some variance with you, my neighbor. He still send you, he have one commissions already. And this is why I'm kind of familiar what you're talking about, because he told me that. I just met him last year, and he told me a little bit about that history, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I got a couple things maybe quick here, what the other guys are thinking, but, Amy stated in the DRT meeting notes that there possibly, there was soil work done on the one, lot, but not on the other. Has that been done? Has the bluff determinations been done, which I believe they have be on this survey?
Yes.
how about the soil work or,
Yes.
okay.
Yep, so Mr. Chair, everything we identified within the development review team that made a complete application,
Yep.
the applicant has submitted, and that's why it's before you now, because it is complete.
Yeah. So on this, it's always hard to follow along on these sometimes because they're so small and whatever. But it looks like where a proposed house could be down in that square in the bottom right corner. You can see the square, that's the proposed area. Is that where if somebody was gonna buy that's where your building envelope would be closest to the lake? Is that correct?
Yes, this is when potential my friend buyer he wanted, but again, I told him it's always gonna be go through you guys.
Yeah.
And this is just proposed.
Okay.
And if he be working with the plans, he's supposed to be submitting, you guys give him. I'm
Okay.
supposed to be give him approval for that, yep. But this is where bluff dimensions and all that setback dimensions square there.
So then that driveway that comes in, that's gonna be a shared one, and there was an easement that's recorded for that and all that, I think I
Yeah.
heard in the staff report.
Yeah, we
Okay.
both agree with that, yep. And then
Okay.
this is existing driveway, which we'll be using both.
Okay. I guess that's probably all I had for questions. John, you have anything?
So does as you're in the items of discussion on the application packet, trying to get things recorded without the public hearing, like the soils work? Did I just go mute?
Yeah, it goes in and out.
As you're looking at these items for discussion, are there things that need to be done before the actual split can happen that aren't done today?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, or, sorry.
Any-
Yeah, we struggled greatly with the surveyor on this. It wasn't necessarily the applicant's issue. And so we struggled, like I said, greatly with the surveyor. And so it was a lot of back and forth to get everything that we needed on the survey and to have a complete application. But now, what you have before you is a complete application. It checks off all of the boxes for plating as far as all of the submittals that are needed. So if this is approved, then what would happen is then the surveyor would order up the Mylars, and those would get recorded, which would actually execute this split, and then he would deed the
New
I'm
plans.
assuming retaining one piece and
Yep.
deeding the other one. So that's what's left to be done.
Okay. Thank you. And one more, Mr. Chair. How'd you come up with 13 and 8, the split?
Because when you walk there, it's kind of shape, and we just go shape because they have a lot of hills there, kind of, and this is kind of because how's line go?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, George.
So I guess one question I have, Amy, so you look at that proposed house pad on the sheet 1 of 1.
Yes.
So if that house were to be built, would that house require variances? It looks like it may, huh?
No, so the surveyor did do a bluff determination, and that is within the building envelope. It is still within steep slope. And as I stated in the staff report, it would still need grading and stormwater plans, because our ordinance does require, even if you are not in a bluff, we're still gonna require some slope stabilization, and all of that. And then also, we would be, certainly scrutinizing the approach to construction and what they're going to build. This doesn't offer a lot. This is a pretty limited site, and so the buyer needs to be very aware of that. And that's why we were requiring that survey to show the building envelope, so someone buying it completely understands that even though it's a large parcel, it does not offer much.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was gathering from this thing, is that
Yes.
they don't have much room to build
No,
on there.
No.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Well, I would say there's a lot of room to build, just not much by the lake.
That's correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah, most of the room would be towards the road.
Yeah. Brent, do you have something else you want to?
Maybe just a comment. I think we're looking at this as a replat for a split. It's not often we have a 13-acre and an 8-acre lake lot, if you will. It's not really suitable for much else other than, you know, its recreational use in that area. So I don't necessarily have a problem with it, you know, going to the county commissioners to make the final decision on it. As long as we have a building site identified and buyer beware, you know, knowing that they're gonna be pretty limited there. I'll still make the comment, pretty confident we were out here 2 years ago on this land. I'm not gonna back away from that because I kinda know where I stood and where I looked, and I remember being there before, so. It was something that didn't work out then, but maybe it can work out in the future, and some things have changed, and I think somebody knowing where they can and can't go is gonna be helpful for, future building applications.
Yeah. No, I know we spent a little bit of time now worrying about this building envelope, and really we shouldn't because there's lots of land there to build, but this is a little special because it's by the lake and somebody's gonna wanna be down by the lake. So that's why we spent probably a little extra time on this particular one than maybe we'd have to for the split, cause there's a lot of buildable area, it's just not up by the, yep, it's towards the road, but, I think we can get this in here, but I guess at this time, if you guys feel comfortable enough, we'd move to the public comment. Okay, so we'll move to the public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would wish to speak on this application? So I have to ask 3 times. If there's any public comment to this application, please go to the podium by the door. Any public comment? Hearing none, we'll close this portion of the meeting to the public. You guys got anything else, or you just want to go to the sheet and vote?
That works.
Okay. So this is just a vote. Yes, that we're gonna recommend this approval to the board, or no, that it'd be a recommendation to not approve. So we'll start with George first.
Yes,
Okay, Marv's not here. John?
Yes.
Myself, Clint is yes. Brent?
Yes.
Okay, so we all answered yes. So at this time, I would take a motion to recommend approval.
Mr. Chair, I'd make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chair.
okay, there's a motion made and seconded to recommend approval to the County Board of Commissioners. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we're gonna recommend approval to the County Board of Commissioners, and they will see this on June 24th. Okay,
Okay,
any questions between now and then, or after that, contact Amy or her staff at Land Services and they'll help you.
okay.
So that meeting is in the morning, during the day. You don't have to be present, but you absolutely can. So if you want to know more about it, you can give me a call during business hours.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe they'll get your name right. Okay, I guess moving on, anybody have any new business for the planning commission? Or old business? I have none.
Mr. Chair, I do not have any.
Okay, so I guess anybody got anything to add on our minutes from April 15th?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the April 15th minutes. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Minutes are approved. Guess there's nothing else, we can call for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded, adjourn the planning commission meeting. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned at 6:21.